The following is an original A-Livin' podcast.
Watkins, Glen International. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to be 100% honest with you. This probably was one of the most predictable weekends I think we've ever seen. Probably ever. Just based off of who were the favorites going into not all three races. Who just overall who were going to be mainly the ones to watch. But nonetheless, still had some good action nonetheless. And we're going to cover it all right here on this episode of Gamers Talk NASCAR. As always, I'm Elijah Leonard here with you. And to my right, on screen, that would be none other than Slifer. What's going on, man? How we doing?
Full. I know, great thing to hear, right? First words, I'm full. No, I do agree. It was very predictable how it happened. Wasn't predictable. Because I think they said it best that no one's ever come from that far back and made up that much time in little laps.
Oh man, it's absolutely insane. I mean, we're gonna cover that here in just a second. But first off, I think it's actually kind of fitting that we're here covering for Watkins Glen, just particularly because this is the earliest that I've ever seen Watkins Glen on the schedule. And to comment on that, I mean, especially on the Cup side, we've never really seen Fox just in general cover a Cup race at Watkins Glen up until just this past weekend. I know it was FS1, but still is under the Fox banner. Still the same crew, same everything, but just FS1. But it was definitely an very interesting time to be alive if you're a NASCAR fan. Let's go ahead and get on into the truck race, kind of kicking us off here. Definitely, I wouldn't say this was a messy race, but I'd say this was still pretty action-packed nonetheless. And finally, after several races of putting him on our ballot as our driver to win, particularly in that area, he finally gets the job done. And I almost called Wyatt Caden Honeycutt because I think this is Wyatt here. Now, before we wound up starting the show, Wyatt was having some technical issues. And from the looks of things, he's unfortunately still having the technical issues with his Wi-Fi.
Like you were going to say, speaking of Honeycutt, and I don't think this has ever been done, to win two races on the same day within a matter of hours.
That's right, because prior to this, he wound up winning the ARCA race, which that was awesome. Winning the truck race was even better. But he also went on and added on a couple other accolades to that. He also went on the very next day to win two more races. That's right. Caden Honeycutt this past weekend won 4 races within the last 2 days. I kid you not.
What other races did he win?
Well, I'm pretty sure he probably won a Cars Tour race. And then there was one other one. I'm going to have to actually look at this here, but I'm pretty sure he wound up winning a Cars Tour event. Let's see this. So, of course, he won ARCA. He won trucks. And he won 2 Cars Tour races, I believe. Yeah, 2 Cars Tour races. And it's absolutely just unbelievable of the amount of success that we've seen out of Caden Honeycutt this weekend. And it all just happened within a short period of time. I mean, Even I'm at awe. This is this is something that you would typically see out of like, I don't know, a Connor Zilic from last year, or even like a Corey Haim from last year. Just unbelievable, stats that came out of Caden Honeycutt just this past weekend alone.
He's only 22 at that. But I just think, honestly, overall, it was a great weekend. Minus a thing or two flying in the air.
Well, we'll get there. We'll get there. But yeah, the O'Reilly's race, predictable. I'm sorry to say that, but this race was also kind of predictable as far as the favorites are concerned. But another thing to add on top of that is that the finish that we wound up getting is literally the exact same finish that we wound up getting a few months prior. Or maybe a couple years prior. So this is all deja vu for Jesse Love, because Jesse Love, a couple years ago when Sam Mayer was driving the one, this is when he was full-time for Junior Motorsports. Of course, Love messes up the last couple of corners. That allowed Sam Mayer to go right on by for the win. This year, we saw the exact same thing happen. Jesse Love messes up the final corner, and Connor Zilic, ironically enough in the one, blasts right on by to win at Watkins Glen. And the victory celebration, I'd say this is probably one of the funniest that I've seen, because for those that don't remember, this is probably the big thing about Connor Zilic and Watkins Glen. Obviously, for those that don't remember or that don't know, Connor Zilic injured himself a few months prior, when the last time that he won at Watkins Glen. He broke his collarbone, so he was sidelined for several races. But now, here we are just about 6 or 7 months later. I promise I didn't mean to do that. I promise I wasn't memeing. I actually am being serious when I say this. He wins. He drives the victory lane after he literally burnt the rubber off the tires. And then drives the victory lane. And then Zilic comes out of the car through the roof. And Justin Marks jokingly comes out with a big mat, shows it to Connor, and places it down next to the driver's side door. But of course, Connor commits to coming out of the roof. That was absolutely comedic.
After he put the window net inside the car instead of outside.
That was absolutely freaking comedic, to say the least. Absolutely comedic. But I do feel for Jesse Love, because you kind of can tell just by the emotions of him, just finishing second the way that he did, because you could tell he really, really, really wanted to win. Just from his interview and the way that he went up and just congratulated Connor Zilic, obviously coming in with the hug, the soft hug, and then walking away kind of like with his head down. I felt for Jesse here, because it's like, man, this is a race that, he was really, really working hard to be in position to win. Both times, that I can recall, when he messed up when Jesse Love messed up with Sam Mayer a couple years prior, and then 2 years later again, this time with Connor Zilic, you could definitely tell he was absolutely dejected after that second place finish from his interviews.
Yeah, it just proved that Watkins Glen didn't show him any love.
Man. Oh boy. You had to do it. But yeah, all in all though, I mean, Jesse Love put it together a really good fight, but unfortunately came up just one spot short after messing up the final corner. Let's go ahead and move forward to the Cup race. This one, man, where do we even start here? Let's start with the flying tent.
Pop-up tent.
This. Okay. So I'm going to ask you this. What up until this point, what is the most wildest thing that you can recall flying out on the racetrack, or what's the wildest thing that you remember finding on the racetrack?
Fan hopping over the guardrail while they were parked on the short chute, and a fan ran out to Matt Kenseth's car and tried to get an autograph.
I remember seeing the clip. that was actually kind of funny. You know, we've also had a few wild ones too. I mean, like, shoot, if we're gonna talk about people running out onto the racing surface, why don't we go back to the 90s? You remember seeing a clip of somebody literally running through the infield grass and onto the race on the Long Pond straightaway at Pocono and jumping the wall while there are cars coming at him in full speed. I remember
wanted to play Frogger.
Yeah, I remember seeing the clip, and Bob Jenkins was like, somebody probably did that on a dare. It probably
Like
was.
Super Bowl.
Probably. Well, this one, not as outrageous and as stupid as those two, but this one was definitely one for the books in regards of that's a new one. Somebody's tent literally got picked up by the wind in the infield. It started up in the air and then landed over by a few safety trucks, and then flew right onto the racetrack. Like, here, look at this.
What's that, Kevin?
Well, it looks
like, just look at this.
Something has obviously blown onto the racetrack.
We didn't know what this was at first.
Somebody's canopy.
Like, look at this.
Part
like
of their
a tent,
campground
like one of
area
those sun
went
tents.
awry, and away it went.
We're not in Kansas anymore, Toto.
Well, yeah, but you see a lot of things like this in Kansas.
Like, look, it just
That
lands
looks like
right
one
next
of
to the
those wind
safety
tornadoes or
trucks
Something went through there.
and then just
Yeah, and it
rolls
all the way out onto the racetrack.
onto the racetrack.
What's that, Kevin?
Well, it looks.
Now, when you pause it
something
right
has
here,
obviously blown on.
I set this, I think it was Stapleton, and it was us and Stapleton in here. When we first saw this, I personally thought that it was like a cover for like the caution lights, because I thought, well, maybe there's some lights out here like that are around the racetrack that usually would have that cover just in case if there was rain. No, it was a goddamn tent. This is unlike anything I think I've ever seen fly out onto the racetrack from the infield ever.
I mean, we've seen like wrappers, like candy wrappers or other things go out on the racetrack. I mean, me going to Daytona, really didn't see much, but yeah, it's you can't make this up.
No, you can't. This is kind of similar to, I mean, like, not really, but like, I remember seeing like a squirrel running on the back straightaway at Atlanta.
Oh, no, not the squirrel.
Not the squirrel. Harvick almost ran it over. Thankfully, yes. I think it survived. It was okay. I remember seeing a fox on the racetrack. I remember seeing a gopher on the backstretch at Michigan a decade ago. And the track workers were just trying to get the damn thing off the track. They got it. Oh my God.
And then it got away.
And then they recaptured it this time and then sent it back off the track. And if we talk about fans again, you remember 2014, there was somebody that was so drunk, they decided to climb the turn 4 catch fence, and they sat there for a solid few minutes. Like, no, well, here we are, just a dozen years later,
We get a 10.
right? Dozen years later, we get the 10 flying out onto the racetrack. But talking about the racing product itself, I think, hands down, the most predictable race we've ever seen all weekend. Because all of us unanimously chose SVG as our driver to win when it came to our predictions. Started on the pole. He led 74 laps. So obviously, led 3/4 of the race. Led the most laps. And at one point of the event, I don't remember exactly at what point. It had to have been somewhere around 35, 40 laps to go. He winds up pitting because there's other drivers that are making the pit stops. That way they can get topped off on fuel. So that way they're good to go the rest of the way. SVG's trying to save as much as he possibly can. But obviously, knowing that strategy, he comes in, he pits, and he gets relegated back to 26th position. From that point on, SVG kept picking off drivers every few laps. All the way up until, I don't know, probably about 10 to go. He has moved his way at this point inside of the top 5. He eventually passes Briscoe. He eventually passes Ty Gibbs a few laps later, who was leading at the time. After passing a couple of other cars, but he winds up passing Ty Gibbs a little bit later on. Connor Zilic, who was also fighting with Ty Gibbs, eventually he basically smokes his tires. He has to come down pit road because he has no more tire left. But SVG, yes, again, takes the lead from Ty Gibbs and runs away with the lead and the win.
So it was 24 to go that he was back when he came out of the pits.
24 to go. Man, that's honestly the 24 to go. I mean, I get Watkins Glen is a big track, but that doesn't seem like a lot of time to make up a lot of positions.
And he went from 21st. He was 29 seconds back of the leaders. And just picked them off one by one.
Yeah, there was a stat as well that he made up all those 29 seconds within, what, 15 laps?
Okay, so 24 to go is when he came out of the pits, right?
Yeah.
11 to go. He is in 6th place. So you figure 13 laps. He went from 21st. He picked off 15 positions in 13 laps.
It's unbelievable, man. Like, oh man, honestly, it's I don't think that's something that anybody could really comprehend.
I hate to say it. He's the god of road courses, as much as people may want to doubt it.
Honestly, I think after what we saw this past Sunday, I don't think I'm going to see anybody doubting that anymore. Like, let's be honest with ourselves. This is a guy who came out of the V8 supercar scene in Australia. He spent pretty much a vast majority of his racing career there, as far as I can remember. Comes to NASCAR, absolutely smokes everybody. And this is a car that, in a way, is designed a little bit similar to the V8 supercar. As far as handling and as far as shifting, because I'm pretty sure the V8 supercars are also sequential shifting. Somebody who knows about that, about V8 supercars, can correct me on that if I'm wrong. But mainly, they run road courses. They mainly run road courses. And SVG coming from that background is, and then just bringing that over to NASCAR. I mean, obviously, he has raised the bar so high when it comes to road course racing in NASCAR altogether. I don't know if there's anybody that's going to be able to challenge that other than maybe Connor Zilisch or Michael McDowell. And I always say McDowell because he was up there in second almost all day.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Those are the only two.
So I honestly don't think, other than those two, that there's anybody else that could probably be of some challenge to SVG at all. Not after what we saw this past Sunday.
No. And then he's showing that he can do it on the oval.
Yeah, he's getting better. Like it has been a very slow, progressive, like his improvements on the ovals has been very slow, but it's been like a progressive kind of slow where he's been getting better almost every week. So, I mean, it'll be a little bit before we can start talking about SVG being a potential winner on the ovals. I mean, that's my honest opinion. But until then, SVG is a force to be reckoned with on the road courses.
I mean, prime example, Atlanta. The second race of the season, he finishes 6th. So I think I did say last year that he will eventually be give him a year or two, and he will be a force to be reckoned with. He proved it yesterday.
He definitely proved it. And I think he's also, and probably as this year goes on, I think if he is able to keep that momentum up, he'll probably be able to prove that all those wins that he got on those road courses last year, I mean, obviously they weren't a fluke. They weren't.
Mm-mm.
But all that hype from last year, he's probably going to prove this year that it wasn't a fluke.
To me, in my mind, he's already proven it's not a fluke.
Yeah.
Because last year, I think he was around 30th in points.
Yeah, 30th in points. And then he won Mexico. I think Mexico was the win that got him into the playoffs. That was when we were doing the win and you're in at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Won that. Shoot. He won Watkins Glen. Won. There's so many places.
Sonoma. I think Sonoma
too.
Chicago when they had the street course.
Yep. And then
didn't they? Wasn't last year of the Roval?
Think so. Or unless I think they stopped running the Roval. I don't know if they did run the Roval last year. I don't think so, but they might have. They might have run the Roval last year, honestly. But my goodness, man. My goodness.
Oh, he did. Of course he got it. I'm not surprised. So his 2025 season, he finished 12th in points his rookie year and got Rookie of the Year honors.
Yep.
I'm trying to look at I'm trying to pull up like all what he. So yeah, 5 wins all on road courses, 5 top 5s, 7 top 10s, and led 312 total laps.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was the Mexico City one that you were talking about.
Yep.
Where he was the biggest margin of victory I think they've ever seen. 16 and a half seconds.
Oh, yeah. Yep. That's right.
I'm trying to find, like, remember which road courses they all went to. I know they had to go. Didn't they go one like twice or something like that?
I don't know. I think so, but I honestly can't remember. But I think this is so far, this year's, I mean, it's panning out. I mean, if things go accordingly, this year might pan out a little bit similar to last year, because so far, almost a third of the way through the season. I can't even believe I'm saying that. We're almost a third of the way through the season. One win so far that came this past weekend, 2 top 5s, 3 top 10s, 1 pole, completed 2,992 laps, and out of those, he led 80 of them. And then currently has an average finish currently of an 18.2. Last year's was 21.
He has improved.
He's gotten better. His average start last year was a 21.9. This year's is a 20.0.
I'm going to call it now. I think he's going to get a win on an oval this year.
I mean, honestly, like with these types of stats, I think it's definitely very possible that we're going to be talking about SVG as a potential winner on the ovals. I mean, it's if he keeps going down this route, if he continues to improve on the consistency, on the consistent improvement, like adjustments and improvements on the ovals, then there is a chance that we're going to see him as a winner on an oval. Where? Guess we'll find out.
Yeah,
Well,
I can't even say.
I can't say either, but we'll figure it out at the same time that you guys do. But let's go ahead. Let's go over our finishing results here from the weekend, starting off with the Truck Series. Caden Honeycutt, Truck 11, the double one, finishes in position number 1. Connor Zilich, man, this would have been crazy if either him or SVG pulled off the full-on sweep. That would have been crazy. But Zilich comes short, finishes in 2nd. SVG finishing in 3rd. Daniel Hemrick in 4th. Chandler Smith rounds out your top 5. AJ Allmendinger, who drove the 25 this week, he finished in 6th. Brent Cruz finishing in the 7th position. Minnie Tyrell finishing in 8th.
Best finish ever.
Best finish ever in trucks. I mean, hey, that's actually awesome for him. Maybe not so much for Sly, but still awesome for Mitty nonetheless.
Yeah.
Brendan Queen finishes in 9th. Connor Mosak rounds out your top 10. Positions 11th on down to 20th looks like this. Jake Garcia, Corey LaJoy, Andreas Perez, Tyler Reif, Gio Ruggiero, Christian Eckes, Tyler Ankrum, Stuart Friesen, and Dawson Sutton. That is your top 20. Or Nathan Nicholson, sorry. Then he completes your top 20.
but before you get to the rest of it, I do want to shocked on one thing. Colleague Racing, all 4 drivers in the top 12 or top 15. All 4 of them.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. But the other driver that we're going to mention here was not so fortunate. Positions 21st on down to 30th goes like this. Lane Riggs, Stephen Malosi, who's driving the 33 this week. Then Justin Haley, Ty Majeski, Adam Andretti, Jackson Lee, Timmy Hill, Ross Chastain, Chris Wright, and Tanner Gray completes your top 30. Finally, from positions 31st on down to 36th, looks like this. Carson Hocevar, Ben Rhodes, Grant Enfinger, Wesley Slimp, who got a little bit of air when he dug into the grass on the bus stop. Cole Butcher and Natalie Decker, who went out of the race on lap 20. Got something in my eye. That's always fun.
Might be the part of the tent.
Yeah, hopefully not the screw. Now we get to the O'Reilly series. Finishing results from Watkins Glen. Connor Zilic, car number 1, finishes in position 1. Car 2, Jesse Love, finishes in P2. That's actually kind of crazy of how we're bringing that up, because cars 1-2 finishes in P's 1-2. Taylor Gray finishing in 3rd, Ross Chastain 4th, Brandon Jones rounds out your top 5. Then it's Brent Cruz finishing in 6th, Parker Retzloff finishing in the 7th position, SVG finishing in 8th. How about this? Austin Green coming home in the 9th position, and then Justin Allgaier rounding out your top 10. Positions 11th on down to 20th sounds like this: Austin Hill, Raja Karuth, Sam Mayer, Carson Quapple, Corey Day, Sammy Smith, Harrison Burton, Brendan Poole, Alex LeBay, and Will Rogers. That being your top 20. 21st on down to 30th looks like this: Preston Pardus, Josh Bilicki, Ryan Sieg, Anthony Alfredo, Jeb Burton, Blaine Perkins, LeVar Scott, Alex Gunyat. I hope I pronounced that right. I do apologize if you're listening to this, Alex. Very slim chance, by the way. Sheldon Creed, who also got air coming out of the bus stop. And then Glenn Reen rounds out your top 30.
He almost put the nose to the sky.
He actually did. He actually followed what Woody would tell anybody to do. Reach for the sky, right?
Frequent flyer miles.
This is actually kind of funny too. I'm gonna bring this up too. The CW, you know the video of somebody like reacting to, I don't know what it is, but I don't know if it's like somebody like taking a piece of ice, right, and just dropping it onto the ground and it breaks in the most satisfying way possible or whatever. But there's a clip of this guy who's like reacting to a clip on his phone, and it's so funny because you have Creed's "Can You Take Me Higher" playing in the background, and and this guy is going like, oh my God, wait, he's gonna do it. Yes, yes, yes. Can you take? And they put Sheldon Creed's liftoff thing coming out of the bus stop. They basically duetted it. They duetted that clip, and it looks like the guy is reacting to Sheldon Creed just hopping into the air. Just hopping into the air after the car digs into the grass. And it's actually kind of funny. Oh, anyways, finally from 31st on down to 38th looks like this: Kyle Sieg, Derek White, Jeremy Clements, Ryan Ellis, Dean Thompson, William Sawalich, Matt Wilson, and Patrick Starr, who went out of the race on lap 4. Finally, let's get into our Cup Series results. No shock, the front row finished exactly where they started. SVG winning the race, Michael McDowell finishing in 2nd, Ty Gibbs coming home in 3rd, Chase Briscoe 4th, Tyler Reddick rounding out your top 5. Then Austin Dillon finishing in 6th, AJ Allmendinger finishing in 7th, Kyle Busch, car 8, finishes in P8, Austin Cindric 9th, and John Hunter Nemechek rounds out your top 10. Positions 11th on down to 20th looks like this: Ryan Blaney, Chris Buescher, Daniel Suarez, Ryan Preece, Cole Custer, Denny Hamlin, Todd Gilliland, Zane Smith, Eric Jones, and Connor Zilic rounding out your top 20. 21st on down to 30th looks like this: Christopher Bell, Noah Gregson, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, Riley Herbst, Ross Chastain, Carson Hocevar, Bubba Wallace, and Brad Keselowski finishing in the top 30. Finally, from 31st on down to 38th, looks like this. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Josh Berry, Ty Dillon, Josh Bilicki, Catherine Lay, William Byron, our only retiree from the race, Cody Ware,
Doctor.
and Joey Logano, who was still running on the racetrack, just 16 laps down, finishing in dead last.
I don't know what would be worse, finishing below Catherine Lay or Cody Ware.
I'd say Cody Ware. Catherine Lay is super underrated. I don't care what anybody says.
You know, Cody Ware being out of the race and still finishing above someone that was still running on the track.
Mm-hmm. And being five to 6 laps ahead of him as well. Yeah, because remember, Joey Logano was 16 laps down.
Oh, yeah.
Cody Ware here went out of the race on lap 90 after he crashed with like 10 to go. But no, I would say Cody Ware because you can't put that moniker on Catherine Lay. I mean, say what you want. She's a badass. She can race anything, whether it be IMSA, IndyCar, stock car, you name it. Catherine Lay is such a badass.
But also, Cole Custer finishing in the top 15. When was the last time he finished up there? That's number one.
Let's go back to last year when he was a part of that 4 wide finish at Daytona.
Okay. That was last year. And I think the first time in the Cup in quite a while that Kyle Busch finished in the top 10.
We were talking about this, yesterday. I think that's a finish that he definitely needed. I mean, it's not a top 5. Don't get me wrong. I think as much as Kyle would have wanted that, he's still pretty satisfied with at least a top 10. I'm hoping, honestly, and I don't mean to cut you off here. I'm hoping that with a new guy on the pit box, I'm hoping that this is maybe and just hopefully, and I'm saying hopefully so much because it's wishful thinking, that Kyle starts to, obviously, that the performance of the 8 team starts to get better. I'm hoping
Pretty much a start in the right direction.
Yeah. I mean, we've said that, I think, like a couple times last year and then this year. And then something happens, and then all of a sudden, all that momentum that they've built up, that 8 team has built up, is just completely destroyed. And it's like they're back to square one because they can't even figure out, all right, what's going on? Is it the crew chief? Is it Kyle? Is it the crews? Is it, the team? Like what's going on? And they're all just trying to figure it out. And it's, it's definitely, so in a lot of ways, I think it's tough to watch Kyle struggle as much as he has over the last couple of years. But to be quite honest, if this continues to happen, I don't think we're going to see Kyle Busch at RCR much longer. If anything, I know we've talked about it in the past, and maybe I think even off air, that there's a chance that we could see Kyle go to Spire Motorsports. Say if crap hits the fan with Suarez and he's not able to keep that momentum that he's had all year up to this point going, maybe he gets the boot, as much as I don't want that. And then
how many cars does Spire have?
They have 3. Obviously every team with the exception of Gibbs and Hendrick can only have up to 3 cars, 3 full-time cars. Gibbs and Hendrick are grandfathered in as 4-car teams. It's weird. I agree. It's very weird.
I was trying to think of like who all drives for Penske in the Cup.
Cindric, Blaney, and Logano, but I don't see any of them going anywhere.
No, I'm just trying to think because I swear there's another one that was grandfathered in.
No, it was mainly those two teams.
Because I know Roush Fenway has Keselowski. Who are the other ones? Well, obviously, Keselowski. Duh.
Like 3-car teams?
Yeah. Do they have 3 or do they actually have 4?
Who?
Roush Fenway.
They have 3 full-time cars.
Okay, I swear there was another one. I could be wrong.
I mean, if they wanted to, they could bring back the 99 like they did at the beginning of the year.
I'm sorry. If you bring back the 99, there's only one man you need to bring back. Try to get back.
Carl!
Yep.
You got to.
Maybe he might not be able to do the backflip. Maybe.
I don't know if he's been practicing. But no, going back to it, like Kyle could end up at Spire next year again. I'd say if Suarez gets the boot, which I hope doesn't happen, or say if crap hits the fan with Riley Herbst, because this is also contract year for Herbst as well. Say if 2311 doesn't re-sign him to a contract extension. Who knows? You could see Kyle Busch going to 2311, becoming a Toyota driver again. Do I see him re-signing with Monster? I don't know. Or Monster welcoming Kyle Busch back? I don't know. I mean, seeing as how Kyle has his own energy drink company, I don't know if it shut down or went bankrupt. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about Rowdy Energy since it first came out in 2020.
Yeah, I haven't seen really in any stores.
So I can't even remember because I think there might have been like a lawsuit or something that came out against Rowdy Energy a couple of years ago. I think it was a lawsuit or something came out that ultimately was targeting Rowdy Energy.
So I just looked it up, and no, Rowdy Energy is not in business. They closed its doors early 2024, as announced in January of that year. And the reason the brand faced intense competition and challenges in securing funding, as well as difficulties in achieving necessary turnover on retail shelves.
Well, there you go. They obviously couldn't keep up with the competition, unfortunately, because of a lot of other circumstances that they unfortunately were not able to overcome. But there you go. I mean, who knows? Maybe it could happen.
At least, hey, I give him credit. At least he tried.
At least he tried. But now we've gotten that segment out of the way. Wyatt, unfortunately, is not going to continue to fight his internet connection. So he's already made his predictions. We'll go over those later. But that means I get to go over all the damn points. Starting off with our truck series chase picture, leaving Watkins Glen. Caden Honeycutt, who finally nabbed his first career win, thank God, has 131 points over the cut line. 29 over Chandler Smith, who is 102 points above the cut line. Lane Riggs has 88 points above the cut line. Gio Ruggiero is up by 76. Christian Eckes up by 60. Ben Rhodes up by 47. Ty Majeski up by 44, as well as Tyler Ankrum. Daniel Hemrick. This is a huge drop between Ankrum and Hendrick. Hemrick. Wrong guy. Wrong name.
English. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Daniel Hemrick. He is down by 8 points. Well, he's up by 8 points, rather, but he is a good 36 points behind Tyler Ankrum. And then, barely hanging on by a thread, just by 1 point, is Stuart Friesen. 1 point above the cut line. Let's go below, and we're gonna see Jake Garcia down there by 1. Brendan Queen is down by 10. Justin Haley down by 14. Andreas Perez down by 25. Tanner Gray down by 37. Grant Enfinger, down by 42. Then Dawson Sutton down by 47. Did I say 32 for Enfinger? I think I meant to say 42. But Sutton down by 47. Minnie Tyrell down by 54. Cole Butcher down by 74. Chris Wright down by 85. Corey LaJoie and Frankie Muniz both down by 101 points. You can definitely tell Sly loves that news. Look at the smile on his face. He's absolutely pulling for Frankie Muniz right now.
Had to get the people's eyebrow.
The people's eyebrow. Man, that's crazy. But my goodness. Okay. So it's no shocker that, I mean, I don't even know where to even start with this, because it's crazy to me of how Hemrick is still barely hanging on. I mean, just barely. And I only say barely because I feel like he should have a little bit of a bigger gap over the cut line. As for Friesen, it doesn't shock me that he's barely hanging on by a thread right now, just based off of the performance alone, where I feel like Friesen has slipped a bit, but not enough to where he isn't able to be consistent, right?
Yeah.
You know, because he's still getting the top 10s as much as he possibly can. But as far as seeing him in winning contention, we obviously haven't seen that since last year at Michigan, where he miraculously came out of nowhere to win that race.
Yeah.
So that's going to be, I mean, the next few races, I mean, there's only 10 races left in the regular season before we get to the chase for the trucks. But it's just, this is going to be interesting to see how the next few weeks sort of play out for anybody that is close to that cut line, whether it be above or below. Now, let's go over to the O'Reilly Series points. Oh, are you shocked to hear this? Justin Allgaier has a 336 point gap from the cut line. He is 336 points to the good. Right now, he has a 185 point lead over Sheldon Creed. He is 181 points to the good. Jesse Love.
Here's your trophy.
Jesse Love is 175 points to the good. Brandon Jones is up by 129. Corey Day is up by 118. Sammy Smith is up by 95. Austin Hill up by 88. Carson Kvapil up by 76. Parker Retzlaff up by 58. Taylor Gray up by 41. Brent Cruz, after this weekend, we called it. He's in, up by 20. And Sam Mayer is up by 17. Let's go below the cutoff line. William Sawalich, after his win at Rockingham a few weeks ago, I mean, it was only a matter of time, but he has fallen out of the top 12. He is 17 points below the cutoff. Raja Karuth is down by 21. Ryan Sieg down by 29. Then a big drop to Brendan Poole, down by 64 points. Jeb Burton down by 98. Dean Thompson down by 102. Anthony Alfredo down by 106. Clements down by 109. Blaine Perkins down by 117. And then Harrison Burton down by 132. Now, again, Brent Cruz, we called it. We knew, especially after his performance at the Rock and then following it up with a few top fives, top tens, and honestly, a couple races where he should have won. Like, we knew at that point, Brent Cruz was going to bust his ass to get into the top 12. And he, by God, after Rockingham, when he came in and made us, since going full time, when he turned 18, like, holy cow, he definitely made up the points, and he is in. He is in right now.
He's the biggest mover of this weekend with +3.
Wow. And then bad news, of course, for if you're a Raja Karuth fan. Unfortunately, he's fallen out of the cut line, as we mentioned. But I mean, this is one of those deals where I feel like, and we've talked.
He's still got time.
He's still got time, but I feel like this is one of those deals where that we've been talking about with, like, and this is the same case with Carson Kvapil too. None of the deals that they have with Junior Motorsports involve full-time rides where they're still with the same car, the same team, the same crews throughout all 33 races. You've got Caruth, who is running with two teams this year, bouncing back and forth. Obviously, between Junior Motorsports is 88, and then the 32 for Jordan Anderson Racing. Obviously, there is a difference between both cars, but at least the 32 is getting just enough technical support to run inside, at the very best, top 10 or even top 15. They are very, I'd say that's the best that they have done. Carson Kvapil was initially announced to drive the one full time. What happened to that deal when he eventually started driving for DGM in the 91? Or especially when he was driving for Junior Motorsports? What happened whenever he was driving the 9? It doesn't, like, none of the deals that are going on at Junior Motorsports with Caruth and Kvapil make any freaking sense. Because if you want those two to be championship contenders, why not just keep them in the same rides throughout the whole year?
And quit letting the cup drivers get like a advantage as far as track time.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. Zilich is now included in this because he is in the Cup Series now.
No.
He should not be able to go into the O'Reilly Series. The only exception I would say is Corey Heim, because he's not full-time anywhere.
I would agree.
Should he? Yeah. But no, I still, to this day, and I'll argue this with anyone, Cup drivers should not be able to go into lower series. Because that's like saying, Major League Baseball, for example, Manny Machado for the Padres. That's like him going down to AAA and playing a couple games.
Yeah.
You don't see that. You don't see Jalen Hurts going back to Alabama playing a few games. You don't see any of that.
No.
They need to make that a rule that if you're in the Cup Series, you're there. You can't race in, even if all three are there for the weekend. That's giving an advantage to only those drivers.
Yeah. Honestly, it's honestly, I mean, that part is ridiculous in and of its own, but again, just but it's just like the deals that are going on with Caruth and Quapple just don't make any sense because they're not in one ride throughout the entire year consistently. Like Junior Motorsports has been great all year, but I do not know what was going through the mind of Dale Jr. when he gave those deals to Quapple and Caruth. When he signed them on. It makes no freaking sense.
So nobody's full time? Not even Allgaier?
Quapple and Caruth. Just those two. Just those two. Allgaier's fine. So is Sammy Smith. Those two, obviously, you know, it's not like what's going on with Caruth and Quapple where they're bouncing around between two different rides.
Man, if I was Quapple and Caruth, I would have a sit down with him. You're like, oh, you gonna make us full time or what's going on? As much as I'd say, it's like either they got to be full time, or I'd say find another team.
At least whatever's open, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever opportunities come up, at least that consist of a full-time gig with one team. I mean, they're running all the races. We know that for sure. They're running all the races. They're getting all the points. But I think it's just, my thing is when they're bouncing around between two different teams, one that actually is a powerhouse and then two more that are established as like mid-card to underfunded teams. Wouldn't you think it makes it a lot more difficult to keep your spot inside of the top 12 above the cut line? It's like, stay above the cut line. Don't you think that makes it a little bit more difficult week in and week out?
Oh yeah, full-heartedly. I mean, it's like if I was either one of them, my mind would be turning. Like, I thought I got signed on full time, but now I'm bouncing between two different teams. Like, I would contemplate my worth with Junior Motorsports.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the Cup Series, and the point standings over there are, well, kind of, I wouldn't say interesting, but they are, well, just that. They've business is starting to pick up a little bit more. Obviously, Tyler Reddick, he is 290 points to the good. He has a 129 point gap over Denny Hamlin, who has 161 points above the cut line. Chase Elliott up by 145. Then Ryan Blaney up by 128. Chris Buescher up by 98. Ty Gibbs up by 95. Carson Hocevar up by 65. Kyle Larson up by 55. Brad Keselowski up by 41. Bubba Wallace up by 36. Up by 34 is Christopher Bell. Then up by 32 is William Byron. Ryan Preece is up by 19. Daniel Suarez is up by 18. Austin Cindric is up by 10. And our most recent winner, SVG, is up by 6 points above the cut line. Now, below the cut line, we see Chase Briscoe. He is down by 6. Joey Logano, after an abysmal day at Watkins Glen and an abysmal last couple of weeks, he now finds himself 38 points below the cut line. Ross Chastain is down by 47. AJ Allmendinger is down by 48. Michael McDowell is down by 58. And Austin Dillon down by 63 points.
I'm not sure exactly what went on. And you saw this. The thing with Bubba Wallace and Christopher Bell. Trying to figure out what the hell they were talking about.
I don't know, but I guess something happened between those two. Obviously something had to have happened between those two on track. I don't think I've seen a replay as to what happened between Bell and Bubba. I mean, regardless though, both are still above the cut line. So I mean, I think that's something that both of them can still be pretty happy about, even if they're not happy with each other. Especially if you're looking at Bubba. But still, I mean, regardless of that, I don't really think there's too much to complain about if you're both Bubba Wallace and Christopher Bell. Sure, you both got together on the racetrack. For what reason? We don't know, unless if you're somebody that actually was there at the track and saw what happened between the two live. There's no telling, but they're still above the cut line. So I'd say for now, those two are okay. You know, when it comes to that regard, SVG, no shock to see him fight to inside of the top 16. I mean, we knew even before he was going to win that he would be 6 points above the cut line because Mike Joy literally said it out loud. But a few guys that actually did get some good improvements and some great runs. Obviously, Chastain, he won a stage. AJ Allmendinger, he finished 7th. Michael McDowell was runner-up. Austin Dillon finished inside of the top 10 with Kyle Busch. So, I mean, they got some really good performances to even be, you know, inside of the top 22 at the very least, and at least also to be involved in a conversation like this again. So, I mean, do I see this momentum continuing for some of these guys? It's 50-50. I think it just depends on, you know, who is able to take advantage of the momentum that they have built up from Watkins Glen, and who's able to execute better when it comes to that momentum. I mean, who knows? We're just gonna have to wait and see. But now, let's talk about our GTN points. This is Sly's favorite part, as you can see. So, we talked about it, that Watkins Glen was pretty predictable, but this weekend went pretty well. If you're somebody like Wyatt Walker, for instance, he got not just one sweep, but 2 this weekend. He swept cup points and truck points. So this man, after Watkins Glen, he grabbed 7 points. So now he is up to 50 points. He now officially clears all of us for the points lead. Nathan Stapleton now jumps up to 2nd. He is a half a point ahead of yours truly. He managed to nab 5.5 points. Obviously, that half point came from the O'Reilly series with Connor Zillage. I wound up getting 4 points, so now I'm up to 47. And Sly over here, he is now up to 40 points. He managed to nab 5 points out of the weekend. So, points-wise, he actually had himself a pretty good weekend. Unfortunately, still has a bit of ground to make up. You could definitely see on his face that he's happy. He's very happy. He's chuckling a little bit on the inside, but you know what? That's okay. That's fine.
Yeah. That's fine. Totally.
You totally don't see the steam that's getting ready to come out of his ears. Or maybe out of his nose. See? There you go. Just imagine like the whistle coming out and like the whistle sound whenever he's blowing smoke out of his nose.
Yeah.
Just out of pure anger.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. But with that said, ladies and gents, I think that will conclude Wyatt's segments of all the damn points. So, now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about some breaking stories, one of which that actually came out very recently. And it came out as of the time that we're recording this, May 11th. This was almost about 12 hours ago. So it was this morning, this Monday morning. Hayek Motorsports has announced a multi-year contract extension for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. So Stenhouse is not going anywhere from Hayek Motorsports anytime soon. Yes, I said Hayek because clearly the people that acquired JTD Jewelry Racing, they didn't quite think about the name all the way through because Hayek looks a lot like Hayek Motorsports.
You can also mistake it for kayak.
You could. I think there was somebody else that also got a contract extension too. I think maybe earlier last week before we got to Watkins. I don't even know if there was anybody else. But Stenhouse is the only one that I've seen as of recently.
Was that from Bob Pockris? Or that broke it out?
I think so. No, okay, no, this is another one. Another contract extension that also was added prior to Stenhouse's deal being extended. Team Penske has also announced a long-term extension to Ryan Blaney's tenure with the team. So here's another guy that is also locked in, and he's not going anywhere for Team Penske. Ryan, I think that's awesome. We not only got one contract extension just 5 days ago by the time that this was announced, but two, especially when you add on Stenhouse's contract extension from this morning. Honestly, I think that's good news for both of them. And hopefully, I mean, I don't even know how long those contracts extend out to, but obviously they're multi-year, and this I think it's definitely, obviously it's great news for the both of them. But I don't think there's really any other breaking stories.
Mm-mm.
I don't believe so. So, with that said, I think we can now start looking out ahead to Dover. It is, man, and I can't believe I'm saying this. It's All-Star Weekend at Dover. Yeah, it's All-Star Weekend at Dover.
What the hell you think of NASCAR?
I can't even believe that I'm saying that.
I can't believe I just heard that.
I can't even believe that it was announced last year. But here we are. It's All-Star Weekend at Dover. All three series are going to be there at least, so hooray. And they're going to be points racing, so that should be fun.
Who added the three?
But yeah. Oh, but Sly, coming into this weekend, All-Star Weekend at Dover. All right, go ahead. What are your thoughts?
You're in utter chaos. I mean, it's the Monster Mile. What do you really expect except for chaos?
That's true. Absolutely. You could definitely also add that on to trucks as well as O'Reilly's for
Oh, yeah.
sure. But
Yeah, all three series, regardless. 2 out of the 3 being points races. It,
but yeah, to your point, unlike Cup, O'Reilly's and trucks, their races at Dover at least are worth some points. But here we go with our predictions. Now for the actual picks for the All-Star race, what I'm thinking about, and I think what Wyatt did, was he went for drivers that are already confirmed to be in the All-Star race. So probably anybody that has won it previously or anyone that has won a race this year that is already locked into the All-Star race. So here we go with our predictions. For those that are brand new to the show or not exactly sure how we make our picks, here's how we make them. We give you a driver who we think is going to win. Pretty self-explanatory. The driver to stay away from is the driver that hasn't been doing well the last couple of weeks, or we're just coming up to a track where they don't perform all that well at, whether statistically or in general. And the dark horse is the exact opposite. And the Monster Mile, ladies and gentlemen, except two out of the 3 races are points paying races, as we just mentioned a little bit ago. But with that said, why don't we go ahead? Let's get started with our picks. And by the time that this comes out, if Stapleton does not put in his picks by the time that we end this recording, we'll obviously put his pick. We'll put his predictions on the screen, so that's that way you'll see them, or put them in the description. You'll see them either way. So here we go with Wyatt's predictions. In the truck series, for his dark horse, he chose Gio Ruggiero. For his driver to stay away from, he chose Stuart Friesen. And his driver to win is Caden Honeycutt. For his O'Reilly predictions, for his dark horse, who's in the 1 this week?
Apple.
All right, good. Carson Quapple's his dark horse. For his driver to stay away from, he chose Blaine Perkins. His driver to win, Brent Cruz. And for his Cup predictions, he chose Carson Hocevar as his dark horse in the All-Star race. For his driver to stay away from, Austin Dillon. And for his driver to win, Chase Briscoe.
Okay, so before I get to mine, I put the ones that Bob Hawkers put on Twitter, and I just want to make sure, because he has the ones starred in red. He has red stars next to their names. Is that the ones that are confirmed in the All-Star race?
I'm pretty sure that's the case.
Okay, I just want to make sure when I do my cut prediction, I just want to make sure.
All right. Well, in that case, take it away.
For the truck series, my dark horse is, I cannot see it right now. There we go. Actually, I'm going to put Honeycutt as my dark horse.
I like that. Definitely making that a pretty safe pick.
I'm sorry. I got to go to the pity point. Take it, Frankie. I'm sorry. But my driver to win This is going to be a long shot, but I will take a colleague driver.
Oh,
Butterbean.
oh, interesting. Interesting. Good old Butterbean is a driver to win. Okay, I like it.
Now the O'Reillys. My dark horse. I'll take Sammy Smith on it.
Okay, that's a good one.
Sawalich is a stay away. And my driver to win. I think he's going to get his first win.
Oh,
I'm taking Brent Cruz.
oh, okay. Riding the Brent Cruz train. All right, all right. I like it. I like it.
And now for the All-Star race. My dark horse. I might make one person happy, but it's not going to be Wyatt. Taking Larson.
Okay.
My stay away. Damn it, we got. I would have went 2 pity points, but I can't. Because he's not in the All-Star race. Because you already know who I would have chose. I would have picked Cody Ware.
Oh, Cody. Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, is he in the All-Star race? Yeah, the one you said.
Cody Ware? Cole Custer? No.
Nope.
He's not. He doesn't have that red star next to his name.
In that case, I'll take Hosevar.
As the driver to stay away from. Oh God.
This is the Monster Mile.
$1 million on the line too. So I mean, that makes sense.
Exactly my point. I'm thinking money wise here.
Yeah.
Money is the root of all evil. But my $1 million
It's true.
winner. I'm probably gonna get shut out for this week, so why not throw the NASCAR? I'll take Tyler Reddick.
Ooh. I think those are pretty solid predictions, honestly. They have to be solid, and if
Because I was honestly tossed between two.
yeah.
One was like Fenway Park Monster Mile thought of KB. If anybody doesn't know who that is, that's Kyle Busch and Tyler Reddick. I kind of went with the safer route.
You're right. All right. Now it is officially my turn to make my predictions. Starting off with the truck series. Some notable entries. Of course, we've got Brandon Jones, William Sawalich is here, as is Kyle Busch, Ross Chastain, Christopher Bell, Carson Hocevar. No shock there.
Sorry, but see, this is the point that I've been trying to say. Cup drivers should not be in this.
Yeah. But I'm going to say for my driver to win, man, I think I might go with a tiny shot in the dark here. I'm going to say Chandler Smith will be my driver to win for this one. I'm going to take a little shot in the dark with this one. As far as my driver to win is concerned. My driver to stay away from, honestly, I'm going to say for my driver to stay away from, I'm going to take the pity point for this one. This has been a little bit since I've done this. I'm going to say Natalie Decker is my driver to stay away from. You were
I'm
just,
sorry. When you said pity point, I'm like, yes, he's finally riding my train.
and then you were just like, damn it. It's like, really? This is what you meant?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And then for my dark horse, I think I'm gonna go with the safe route here. Say Caden Honeycutt's my dark horse for this one. Now, for our O'Reilly series predictions. For O'Reilly's, oh man, I can't even believe that's the first thing here.
My bad.
No, you're fine. Sometimes it's just the way that Discord sometimes will. Oh,
I accidentally put the truck first.
no, it's fine. It's okay. I'm gonna say for my driver to win in the O'Reilly series race at Dover. You know, I think I'm gonna say Jesse Love will be my driver to win. Another guy, Dover's one of those places I feel like he could also be pretty good at. Obviously, you show a lot of consistency as well. One of the places that he can show consistency. So I'm gonna say Jesse Love will be my driver to win, rather. Driver to stay away from. You know, I think I'm gonna say. I think I'll say my driver to stay away from is gonna be Jeb Burton. Jeb Burton's gonna be my driver to stay away from. Don't get me wrong, he's good. I don't know. I just don't know if he's gonna be able to rally up a good top 15 run this weekend. I don't know. There's some hunch in me that probably he'll be riding top 15, and then something's gonna happen to him. He might blow a tire. He might have like a mechanical failure. I don't know. There's a possibility. But my dark horse, I think I will say for my dark horse, I think I'm going to go with Stapleton on this train here and say Parker Retzlaff will be my dark horse. And the only reason, and again, I'm only saying that because Parker Retzlaff, all year this year, with a couple of mulligans, has shown a lot of speed. And he's been consistent in the process. Almost every race that I remember up to this point, he has been top 10 consistently every week, almost every week, but you get what I mean. So I'm gonna say Parker Retzlaff is my dark horse. And now, time for the main event. You're just like, what?
I was actually pulling for your mic not to cut out on you.
I know, but I'm not excited about this because it's over. It's time for the main event.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you can't hear the enthusiasm in that man's voice right now.
It's a nat. Yep.
Stapleton was wondering if he needs to get his picks in before we're done.
Yes. From out of nowhere!
I'm not gonna lie, that walk-on thing was actually priceless.
Man.
Because I said his name and he appeared.
I guess that's part of why he now joined the Joe Hendry train.
Hello.
Okay. Before you get your picks in, Stapleton, I just got to my cup picks, but say it again. It's time for the main event. Woo. The NASCAR All-Star Race at the Dover Motor Speedway. for the NASCAR Cup Series. Ooh, I'm only saying that because it's Dover.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I like Dover. I don't like what they did with all stories.
That's right. That's why I'm saying it's at Dover. I'm only gonna go with the drivers that are locked in. So I'll say for my driver to win the All-Star race. You know, to be honest, it's kind of hard to really predict who probably has Dover down in with this next gen car, like on a consistent basis, whether it be winning or otherwise. But I'm gonna say for my driver to win, to be honest, I think I might go with Christopher Bell as my driver to win the All-Star race. My driver to stay away from. I think I'm going to go with Austin Dillon as my driver to stay away from. Finally, my dark horse. I think I'll say Chase Elliott. Is my dark horse. Sure, Hendrick Motorsports last week was not even in contention at all. Like not even remotely close. But regardless of that, that was just Watkins Glen. We're going from a road course to a 1 mile concrete oval that Hendrick Motorsports and Chase Elliott have shown speed at. So I'm going to say Chase Elliott is my dark horse. All right, Stapleton, now you can go.
Hello. Yeah, I will say I probably will be in that week. I will just throw that out there. I probably will, hopefully, fingers crossed, be in that week. Second off, let me find it here. There we go. Let's see here. Starting off with the Club Series. Oh, I don't know. Clint Boyer's in the book.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because Boyer's in the 25. Because it was confirmed.
Looking at the
Yeah.
entries, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, because Boyer was going to be in the 25 for Dover. And then Jamie McMurray was going to be in that truck for the naval base.
So they're going from the booth back to the track.
Interesting.
You're
Anywho, starting with my driver to win. No, I'm dumb. Starting with my dark horse. I'm gonna go with Ty Majeski. My driver to stay away from is going to be Parker Eatmon.
Why does
I
that?
know some of these like new drivers that Nice has, they've been pretty solid, but I know nothing about Eatmon. So.
Why are you saying his last name like he's a freaking Pokemon?
But it's really Eat and Amon. So
Edmund.
It's just the way that's spelled out. It just looks like Eatmon. Yeah, I do agree there.
Yeah.
that don't sound right, but okay. Him.
He's a Ghostbuster.
Parker is my driver to stay away from. And it's my surprise the only one I think will win. Give me Christian Eckes.
Ah!
McIntyre. I think McIntyre is going to get a win.
I honestly haven't heard his name in that conversation in a long while.
I mean, I just looked. He is 5th in points, so it would not. That would not surprise me. Let's see here. The O'Reilly series. Oh, sorry. Gotta do it. O'Reilly Auto Parts series. The O'Reilly Auto Parts series, the best series in NASCAR. My driver to be my dark horse. You know what? I know I've done this a lot this year, but I'm gonna do it again until he proves me otherwise. My dark horse is gonna be Parker Westhoff again. He keeps on getting top 10s at tracks I don't expect it, so I'm just gonna roll with it. My driver to stay away from. I'm gonna go with. I know they're a small team, but I know that they've been doing really solid this year. But give me Brimpool.
Yeah.
I know they've kind of overperformed this year, but I don't really see it at the loop. Just got that feeling. And then as far as the driver to win, you know what? Do I? I think I will. I think the driver that's gonna win will be Jesse Love.
Wow! Holy cow! Look at that.
I think Jesse Love's gonna win.
Look at that. That's actually kind of interesting though, Stapleton, because it's just you and me that chose Jesse Love as the driver to win. Wyatt and Sly are the only two that have chosen Brett Cruz as their winner. So we're split down the middle.
And you know what that adds up to? We each did one of us. We each picked the 2 in the 19, so that means Austin Hill's gonna win. I'm kidding.
Oh my goodness.
I'm kidding. I don't want that to happen.
I sure hope not.
I hate to say it, but what she does.
Oh my god. As far as the All-Star race, I found a list of current entries. I had to find it on the DoverMotorSpeedway.com website. So shout out DoverMotorSpeedway.com. My dark horse. I'm gonna say my dark horse, Ty Gibbs.
Ooh, okay.
My driver to stay away from. I can't believe I'm doing this. I really can't believe I'm doing this, but it's been a full year since he's won. I know he won the championship last year, but it's been a full year since he won. This might be the first time ever I've done this on a non-super speedway, but Kyle Larson is my driver to stay away from, and I am fairly painful inside.
Okay, well, at least I'll make you happy from my pick, though.
And my driver to win.
Did you say Larson was your driver to stay away from? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Just want to make sure.
Surprising.
That is a shocker.
And my driver to win. Honestly. This is tough. I'm gonna say that it's going to be you know what? Give me Denny Hamlin.
Ooh, okay.
Toyota is so strong this year. Give me Denny Hamlin. That was not easy.
that was not easy at all. But all right.
We're polar opposites, so Stapleton with Larson.
Do you have him to win?
Elijah?
No, but he does have him as his dark horse.
Oh. I mean, I could see him being a dark horse, but I could also see where he just wants terrible. I don't know
true.
if Hinduit has missed the new Chevrolet body for the most part until like Chase Elliott randomly appears. Like Bowman's not running well, Bonds not really doing that great as of late, and Wilson started the year good, but now he's falling off. So I
don't know. But regardless of that, Sly, I know you and I started the show, and we pretty much were just the two of us all the way up to this point. Reviewed Watkins Glen. We've talked about the breaking stories of the contract extensions between Blaney and Stenhouse. Gone over the points, and then made predictions for Dover. And then Stapleton came in. So, gentlemen, I present to you with this one final question. Any last thoughts before we get the Dover weekend underway?
Yeah. We gotta let the show begin.
Well, first off, Dover should not be the All-Star race.
Duh.
Second off, I do like Dover though, so I'm looking forward to this weekend. And the biggest question of them all, Elijah, is how hungry will Miles the Monster be this weekend?
Very.
All you can eat buffet.
They have it. I'm looking forward to Dover though.
Yeah, absolutely. But
Yeah, we could just remember to watch the truck race.
no, right? But all right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for our recording session here for Gamers Talk NASCAR. If you guys are listening to this on Spotify and or watching this on YouTube, for YouTube, if you like this, be sure to hit the like button and be sure to consider subscribing in order to keep up with some fine content coming out in the near future. If you're listening to this on Spotify, be sure to hit the follow button so you don't miss future episodes that drop every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube and Spotify at the same time. On behalf of Slifer and as well as Nathan Stapleton, I'm Elijah Leonard signing out, and we'll catch you guys on the very next episode of Gamers Talk NASCAR.
Thanks for listening to tonight's episode of Gamers Talk NASCAR. Really hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to hit that follow button so you don't miss a future episode throughout the NASCAR season. And as always, we'll catch you on the next one every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Time.